भारत एक समृद्ध भारत बनेगा। Thank you very much, Arnab and the Republic family. We are all proud to be members of your family, and therefore the belief has to come very naturally, Arnab. Really delighted to be amongst all of you this morning. It's a momentous day. It's a day on which the Honorable Prime Minister is visiting the Kashmir Valley. It's a day which is also going to celebrate the removal of Article 370 and 35A from the Constitution. Something which I think every Indian and all of us for generations have wished for, have worked for, have struggled for. And I still remember the Honorable Prime Minister literally having to force his way to go to Lal Chowk to unfurl the tricolour many years ago, when the then central government and the state government did not permit him to go along with all the workers of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And it was a very telling commentary of where the state of the nation was, that a territory which belongs to India was often referred to as Aap Indians or Hum Kashmiri. And it was an absolutely unfortunate past.
Attention all bikers.
Buy any TVS Eurogrip tire and win exciting prizes. Mega winner will feature in a video with CSK stars.
Why is it that some people become crorepati in just 12 months and others can't? What is the reason? Are they coming from different planet?
Happened on the 5th and 6th of August 2019. Many of us were privileged to be a part of that history in the making. And what one sees today in Kashmir over the last 5 years is truly a phenomenal turnaround, where every Kashmiri today feels blessed that as a part of India, as an integral part of India, Kashmir is growing, Kashmir is developing. Every Kashmiri has a bright future ahead of him, just as every Maharashtrian or Gujarati or Telugu. And that's the beauty of India, that's the beauty of the Republic of India. And I've just a small housekeeping issue. I think you could possibly add high ethics also when you describe the Republic in the evening to the Prime Minister. We always believed that you were right, and now the courts have also ruled that Republic was right and not responsible for all the false allegations that were made on the Republic channel, and particularly the harassment that Arnab had to go through personally. I think let's all stand up and give him a round of applause for standing up for what has always been right.
Friends, the Honorable Prime Minister is not only a man of vision, but a person on a mission to transform the future of India, to make India once again reclaim the lost glory. And truly, when on the 22nd of January, we saw him at the Pran Pratishtha of the Ram temple, immersed in devotion, after an 11-day Anushtan, an 11-day period during which he followed all the vows that are recommended actually only for 3 days, but he followed it for 11 days. Very strict disciplines to truly fulfill the dreams of 1.4 billion Indians. I think in a sense, the Prime Minister showed to the world that as a nation, India stands united, united in the pursuit of protecting our rich legacy, our rich history, our rich culture, ensuring we don't make the mistakes and learn from historical wrongs that have happened in this country. A mission to make sure that no Indian is left behind in the journey of progress. A mission to once again make India, as the old Oneida ad used to say, owner's pride and neighbor's envy. As he's often told us, we have no time to lose, we have no time to wait. Last Sunday, he spent almost 8 hours with the entire Council of Ministers and the top leadership of the Government of India, preparing a roadmap for this great country for the next 25 years in the Amrit Kal, where each one of us has committed ourselves to work with a sense of purpose, a sense of duty, a commitment to make India a developed nation by 2047. And I tell you, the plans that were prepared and in consultation with over 1.5 million people, with the inputs sourced and crowdsourced from across the country, looking at inclusivity and sustainability at the core of India's growth, ensuring that we find our rightful place in the Committee of Nations, working towards a $30 trillion economy, $30 trillion plus economy by 2047, but with well laid out path on how, what, and who will do our contribution, will make our contributions towards the goal that we are all committed to. And friends, that is why the Prime Minister says, and I quote, today Bharat is tirelessly working day and night towards a promising future. Sentiment echoing everywhere is India is the future. If today the world thinks India is ready to take a big leap, it has a powerful launch pad of 10 years behind it. And that is the 10-year story that during the course of the day, I'm sure different colleagues will also be sharing with you. Many of us are young, we have not experienced what we went through before 2014, but I can tell you I learned my early lessons in television debates and television discussions with Arnab in the 2010 to 14 period. In many of his debates on television, when the nation wanted to know how we are going to come out of the distressful situation full of scandals, a weak economy, very low self-esteem of the nation and our people, very poor image of the country across the world, very little respect for an Indian passport, and to sum it up, a very low confidence about the future. And I remember at that time talking to Arnab, talking about how we would take the country in the post-2014 period under Prime Minister Modi's leadership to greater heights of development, how we would find the right pathway to make sure that the country progresses fast to meet the aspirations of a billion plus people. And I think the Prime Minister's focus on the three tracks. One, developing the strong macroeconomic fundamentals. Two, ensuring social welfare reaches the last man at the bottom of the pyramid. And three, ensuring that we have the enabling infrastructure. And infrastructure is not just about roads and railways, or even ports and airports, on each of which tremendous work has happened in the last 10 years. But infrastructure to engage with the world in terms of digital connectivity, infrastructure to ensure that our women, our sisters, daughters, get equal opportunity so that they can get out of the rigmarole of day-to-day living a very, very strenuous and difficult life to become part of the formal economy and contribute to the economy. Infrastructure to make sure that people are not looking to leave their homes only to go into the cities for a living. Infrastructure that provides opportunity to every Indian to enjoy the good things of life that deservedly belong to 1.4 billion people. And this decade of transformation, this decade where
Merit has prevailed over sycophancy, has prevailed over family-run political establishments. This decade where we can truly see young India
engaging with the whole world from a position of self-confidence, with a spirit of can-do,
I think has prepared India, has prepared the strong foundation, has prepared the base on which India will be progressing, India will be building towards a $30+ trillion economy. And a young India with
the demographic dividend of an average age which is less than 30 years, expected to be less than 30 years for the next 30 years, adding $30 trillion to the economy in less than 30 years. We have an absolutely perfect storyline waiting for each one of us. A perfect situation where the stars are aligned. And as they say, when you want something with a great deal of commitment, when you are very, very sure about something that you desire, and you desire something from your heart, even the universe conspires to help you achieve that. And I think that's the time that we have before us in the country today. Very often we are asked how India will achieve such transformational targets, such big aims in 25 years. I think the simple story to be told is the power of compounding. Very often that is missed out, that there is a huge power in compounding, and that's the power that India is benefiting from as the Prime Minister takes one step after another, as the country moves forward with significant new ideas, as the country engages on a plethora of subjects with the rest of the world. And as the world also starts recognizing India's growth story, India's emerging strengths, as they see a country which was slated to grow at 6%, move up to 7%, and then last quarter show us an 8%, 8.4% growth. In a situation where we are living in turbulent times, a conflict in Ukraine, a conflict in Palestine, the Red Sea crisis, amongst all these difficulties, when the world sees India emerging as an oasis, as the bright spot on the globe,
as they see India's US dollar driven nominal GDP catching up with our PPP, which is over $10 trillion, as you rightly pointed out already. As we grow from $3.7 trillion or thereabouts today, compounding on a nominal US dollar GDP basis at about 9.5%, 10%, the country and every countryman will enjoy the power of compounding. I can give you some data points about how the economy is growing
Rapidly, how the economy will become the third largest economy in the next 3 years, how we will probably cross a $10 trillion economy by 2030 and a $15 trillion economy by 2034, 10 years from now. All of these are going to clearly lay out the pathway towards our journey to make sure that every Indian
gets a good opportunity, an equal opportunity to contribute to the nation and for a better quality of life. With all the basic needs taken care of, we are out of that old thinking where roti, kapda, makan, bijli, sadak, pani, shiksha, swasth, those typical old age concerns are being taken care of, are largely being ensured for every Indian. And that is what encourages a young man or woman in the remotest part of India, connected through the net to whatever is happening in the rest of the world, the encouragement to think big, the encouragement to aspire for all the good things of life, the big aspirations, the big goals that every Indian is setting for himself are today the drivers of India's future. आज देश में दिशा भी सही है, देश की दशा भी सही हो रही है, देश की नीयत साफ है, देश की नीतियां स्पष्ट हैं और देश सही निर्णय ले रहे हैं। और ऐसी परिस्थिति में दुनिया की कोई ताकत अब भारत को आगे बढ़ने से रोक नहीं सकती। अब भारत चल पड़ा है, अब भारत रुकने वाला नहीं है। भारत के लोग बड़े बड़े लक्ष्य पाने के लिए तैयार हो गए। अब भारत का जो ये परिवार है, और कई लोग तो कहते हैं कि मोदी जी का कोई परिवार नहीं है, मैं समझता हूं हम सब 140 करोड़ भारतवासी मोदी जी के परिवार हैं। और हम सब मिलके एक परिवार के नाते, मित्र के नाते एक दूसरे के साथ चलकर जब 140 करोड़ भारतवासी एक एक कदम आगे बढ़ेंगे, तब आप कल्पना करिए दुनिया देखेगी 140 करोड़ भारतवासियों की ताकत। आपका एक कदम देश का 140 करोड़ कदम की तरह आगे बढ़ाएगा। और आगे चल के मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि इसी तरीके से, इसी तेज गति से भारत आगे बढ़ेगा। भारत का एक एक नौजवान नई उम्मीद, नई उमंग, नई आशाओं के साथ, हमारी बहनें, हमारे बच्चे इस देश को एक नया भविष्य बनाने में, नया भविष्य संवारने में आज जुटे हुए हैं। देश के कोने कोने में उत्साह की लहर है और मेरा पूरा विश्वास है, और अगर मैं कहूं तो मेरा विश्वास अटल है कि देश बहुत ऊंची छलांग लगाने के लिए तैयार है, नई ऊंचाइयों पे पहुंचने के लिए तैयार है। हम सब ने तय करना है कि हम उसके भागीदार बनेंगे या हम पीछे रह जाएंगे।